Welcome back, everybody, to Empyrion Galactic Survival Alpha 8.7. Alright, I have done quite a bit of work, moving stuff around, thinking about things, figuring out stuff. A few hours, actually, since I recorded the last episode. And so we made some changes, and I think I'm, for the most part, now have my turret situation figured out how I want to do things. So we've made quite a few changes to the ship since you saw it last. And what I've done is I've kind of gone through and figured out where I'm going to put the turrets. I built up the blocks around it so they can be as protected as possible. One of the things that I had to do too is I had to take those lateral thrusters that were over there, and we're going to move those up to the front. Reason being is because I needed this side area to put turrets to handle the up and down vector, I guess you would say, of the ship. So that way we have protection for anything coming straight down or straight up at us. Okay, so I've got a few more turrets cooking up. What we're going to do first, while we're waiting for those, is let's get these rockets or thrusters rather back in place here now. And so we want to, let's also put the plane on. There we go. So yeah, I changed the shape of the ship a little bit to get all this to work, but I think we got it working fairly well. And I'm also, basing all these changes off of what we allow on our multiplayer server in terms of the maximum allowed weapons and that sort of thing. Okay, that's gonna give me a hassle, isn't it? I do want to make sure these are all the same direction too. See, those are upside down. Whatever that actually means, I'm not sure. That goes there, and that goes there. And I want to flip these around so that this little yellow doohickey is on top, just because that's how it is on the other side. Alright, yellow doohickey on top. There we go. Okay, so that puts those guys in place. Let's hop back out here. Now, I also made, as you can see, a bunch of the small thrusters that we want to use for our lift thrusters down below. And again, like I said, I'm just doing this more for aesthetic reasons than actual necessity. But I just feel like the ship should have, some thrust up on the front end of it too, so it has more equilibrium. And what we might do with that, actually, since these are pretty cheap and easy, is we might just go ahead and do like a whole, well, let me think about this for a minute, row. If we just did them here, this might work. Let's try that and we'll see how we feel about it once it's in place. Alright, so we got to flip it around this way. I did not make enough of these, obviously. Or wait, hold on a second. No, these don't go here. Ah, crap. I hate when I do that. Put that back there. Okay, let's try this again. So flip it around. There. So that's not really going to give us a whole lot more in terms of actual lift, but it's also not going to use a whole hell of a lot more fuel either. So again, it's kind of more just for looks than necessity. And I might even just bring them all the way back down here too. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I kind of wish, though, that they were, you know, that they came even with these guys. But that might not be necessary. Let's just go with this, and then we'll see how we feel about it later. Okay, we gotta put the grates back on here, and then we're gonna need to make some more grates for the lower ones too. So let's get that done next. We want to flip this way, and we want to flip it this way, I believe. Okay, and that takes care of that. And then we will add... oh, yeah, you know what we got to do here is we have to change these blocks out. Got to start my timer again. And we're just going to put no, not those. I think we want these. Yeah. That's kind of cool, actually. Gives a little character there. I mean, if we wanted to, we could even go all the way back, but again, I'm a little concerned about the fuel usage of this ship, even as it is now. So we might not do that for now. We'll just kind of see how things go. Okay, I think that takes care of the block placement that I wanted to do for the time being. So let's turn off the symmetry plane here. I have a few more guns, or turrets rather, cooking up in here. So let's do that. Let's get our oxy topped off and our food topped off while we're down here in the station as well. That finishes off the salami, and we'll have an energy bar too. This stuff I actually spawned in to do some testing, so we're gonna throw that back out since we didn't make it legit. I am doing this whole thing in survival mode, as most of you probably know. Okay, so put those there. Projectile turrets 12. Good. Alright, so we are allowed up to 12 projectile turrets and 10 rocket/flak type turrets on our server. I'm not sure how I feel about that, actually. We'll see. Okay, so in the front here, we're going to go ahead and place a minigun. And then we're going to put a cannon. Well, do we want to put the cannon here? Yeah, I think we will. I think we'll put a cannon turret here. Okay. And then in the middle, we're going to put a rocket turret. Like so. And then we'll do the same thing on the bottom here. So rocket turret goes in here. And minigun in front. And cannon in back. You know what? Maybe I should put the rockets in back because they have a lot longer range. You know, just for helping and stuff up in front of the ship. Let's do that. Let's put the rockets in the back. So this will be a cannon turret. And this will be a rocket turret. And we'll do the same thing up here. Switch these guys out. Rocket turret. Okay, so we put the rocket turret back here and the cannon in the middle. There we go. Okay, that looks good there. Now let's go ahead and set things up on the side here. So again, what we're going to do here is we're going to, you know, I should actually put my symmetry plane on. So that way I don't have to do it twice. That's the whole idea behind the symmetry plane, isn't it? After all. Okay. So we're going to put a flak cannon right in the middle here. Well, actually, let me think about that for a second. Now these guys here are for, actually these are going to be for downward protection. Yeah, I think I'll put that one there. Then we'll put a mini here. And unfortunately, I didn't have enough room to... Oh, wait, did I just put a cannon there? I did, didn't I? I wanted the mini there. Maybe it doesn't really matter, I don't know. Yeah, that's a cannon. you know what? I don't think it matters. I don't think it makes much difference. The only thing is the mini has a little bit less range. But here again, it's almost 6 1, half dozen of the other, I think. So minigun turret right there. And that should do a pretty decent job of covering anything that would be trying to get at our ship from down below. Now it is possible if they, if they stayed right on center and could get in quickly enough, they might be able to avoid some of that fire. I don't know. But I just don't have a whole lot of real good options with this setup for downward, upward facing turrets. I wonder though, I wonder if we carve those blocks out and put one up in there, pointing down. That just occurred to me. If we do that though, it's going to stick 3 blocks high inside. Well, I'll tell you what, let me worry about that later. Let's just do what I already know I'm going to do for sure. Okay, so that takes care of our vertical downward protection. And, and that's just really going to be for drones and potentially small vessels. Because we wouldn't typically attack a base, straight below us anyways. Most of our offensive attacking is going to be head on. Incidentally, I added another pulse laser to that corner there, because we can have a total of 6 pulse lasers on the server. So we got the 2 on the end of the wing, and then those pulse lasers will go there. Okay, so now let's do the upward facing protection. Now these will also, of course, protect upwards too, but these here will only be able to protect us upwards. So we'll put the flak towards the back, since it's the longer range. And we'll put a minigun. Okay, so that gives us some protection from anything coming straight down at us from the top, in addition to those down there too. Don't really have an option for that way up on the front here, but the thing is we're going to put a flak turret up here too, by the way. In fact, let's just do that right now. And this flak turret's going to be able to reach out and touch for sure. So I think it's still going to be pretty challenging for anybody trying to come at the ship from the top. And this thing will angle up probably about that high or so, which should cover most things coming from the front. Not to mention, that we got these down here too. So even if they got beyond the range of this one, now they're in the range of these and these here. So they're still gonna have a hard time getting at us that way. Okay, how come that flak turret didn't go in there? I don't know. Well, that's weird. I'm not sure why it didn't go in there. Okay, cool. So that... How many... Okay, so we have 5 more... Or 4 more... rocket turrets that we can use. What we might do with those is put them... Let's flip this down here. We might put those there. The idea behind that is if we're being pursued by a larger ship, from behind, of course, they'll have to deal with those rockets shooting at them. And based upon, again, that same scenario, well, you know what, though? I want some flak protection. I want some flak protection down below. in the back here. So we're going to go back to flat cannon here and pop those in there. Yeah, I don't know why that's not duplicating. It's weird, kind of weird. Oh, what's the matter? Oh, you know what? I think I've reached my maximum. I thought I already had 10. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we've reached the max. Okay. Well, that being the case, then what I might do instead, I thought about putting a flat cannon down on the bottom here. The only potential downside to that, though, is that if these... Here, let's take this off. We don't need this damn thing on now. If these ramps are extended, though, right, then the flat cannon is going to potentially be obstructed by that. But I do want to have some flak coverage on the underneath side of the ship. The other possible place is to put one up here. That could actually work because this is our hover bay. The only problem there though is that we wouldn't be able to stay within our lines here because we need 3 blocks, so it would protrude out that way. On the plus side, though, if it did stick out a little bit, we'll have a little more clearance beyond this. But the main purpose of this is to have rear protection from a flat cannon. Let's look at that and just see how we feel about it. So this has to come off. And we'll pull this flat cannon back off here. There. So anything, drone or small vessel pursuing us from behind is going to have to deal with that boy. If we decide to stick with this, though, I think I want to change these out to this block here, like so, just to give a little more protection. Might even do this too. Okay. I think that works pretty well. And like I said, this isn't really designed for for anything flying. That's hover vessels, so that's not going to be in the way of hover vessels getting in there unless it's a super big hover vessel, in which case it might not fit anyway. So I think that gives us pretty damn good flak coverage. Now I wanted to put in this spot, let's see here. Oh, that's a hover vessel. So that, we made one too many rocket turrets. That's okay though. So this, I think we'll probably just maybe put miniguns in here. Like that. And that gives us pretty decent, I think, then rear lower coverage for small vessels and drones. And then, of course, if we have something larger pursuing us from behind, they also have the rockets to deal with, as long as they're not below the range of those, the angle of the rockets. That's my thinking anyway. Okay. I think, guys, that does it for our turrets on this ship. I'm sure very happy that we have retractable turrets now too, because let's count though our projectile turrets and see if we've maxed out the 12. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 cannons. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, so we've maxed out the miniguns too. Projectile turrets, rather. The one thing I haven't really put a whole lot of on here, though, is laser turrets. Now, I do have a couple of plasma turrets down here. Now these are very, very long range. In fact, I think these are probably the longest range weapon in the game. They're even a little longer than the artilleries. And so, you know, that'll give us the ability to hit a target in front of us from quite a long ways out with those turrets. I think that's like 1.05 kilometers or something, the range on this sucker. It's really, really far out there. And it's just slightly faster firing than the artillery, which is painfully slow. But what we could do, we have... See, I don't think we can... I think the laser turrets are included in the rocket turret class. Let's just see. Well, no, it would let us put one of these on there. Well, that might just be a limitation of our own multiplayer server then. But I thought Common, our admin, said that it was all the default stuff. It does appear to let me put another one on there, though. If I was going to do that, I have a couple of options. I could raise this up and put one here. Or we could put another one here, somewhere in there. But I think that will exceed what we're allowed on the multiplayer server anyway. So we're going to go with this. I think this is a pretty decent coverage, all things considered. What we're going to do now, though, is we're going to retract all the turrets. Okay, so everything should be done. Okay, so now everything is retracted. I love that because we get the lines back on our ship now. Might be a little bit odd when we go to texture and color everything, but you know, it is what it is. Now, I don't know if I showed this to you guys in the last video or not, but I also put a multi-turret in front here. And I did test it, and it does have enough clearance to get past this little lip right here. And so when I'm flying the ship solo, you know, then I have, you know, the multi-turret forward, and then I can go, you know, take POIs and stuff apart. And we do have the option, of course, if we wanted to put more multi-turrets. In fact, we can have up to 6. Up to 6 of those types of turrets on here. So what we might do is we might actually put some on the back here too. So that way, when we are playing on the multiplayer server, we have the, you know, when we have a crew, we can put them out here to help take stuff apart, or, you know, maybe even do a little bit of mining or something. So we do have room for that. What I might do for now is, what is that? That's a multi, and that's a drill. See, a drill turret doesn't really make much sense. Doesn't really make much sense for a solo player, because why would I use a drill turret when I can just use the actual drill lasers, which are fantastic. But what we could do, though, is we could put a couple multi-turrets back here, so that way if we do have other people with us, you know, we can back up to whatever it is we're taking apart, and we can get 2 people going at the same time. That's kind of the idea there. So to do that, we're going to need to... It's going to mess up our little angle in here a little bit, though, isn't it? If we use retractable, which I want to do. Let's just do it and look at it and see what it looks like. Alright, so multi-turret retractable. See, we're gonna have to really make sure we're low on the J-jet getting back through there, or that thing's gonna cause us a problem. You know what? We might actually make these back turrets normal, not retractable. I think I'm gonna do that. Just because here again, I think that's gonna give us problems with the J-jet if we don't. So these ones will just have to be exposed, and you know, if they take damage, they take damage.